Welcome to China Insider. I'm David Zhang. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be a more fun episode because just the amount of meme and the hilariousness that's been ensuing for the past few days since Dr. K went and confronted with a bunch of CCP nationalist lovers. And so, you know, our main guy, Newton Lung, he's had a wild ride. His "Don't touch her" has become an internet meme sensation.
Don't touch her. Yeah. Stop touching her, please.
Not just in the English-speaking circle, but actually in China as well. So first, we're going to share with you some of the memes that I love absolutely about this "Don't touch her," just bizarreness, and then we're going to talk about actually why Winnie the Pooh, along with some of the other memes that's, you know, if you speak Chinese, you'll be pretty well versed in these memes, but I want to introduce it to the English-speaking audience because it's pretty funny. And also, just simply why Winnie the Pooh has become such a symbol of resistance against totalitarianism, dictatorship. So first I had this viewer actually, it was so funny. He says here, he says, today everyone's there talking about that Dr. K helped us to discover Newton's fourth law, don't touch her. So obviously Newton's laws of motion, one of them is an object at rest remains at rest. The second acceleration of the object depends on the mass of the object. And then the third is when object exerts a force to another object, the second exerts an equal and opposite to the first. So now we have the fourth law of motion, which is obviously Newton Lung's instead of Isaac Newton's law, and that's don't touch her, right? This is the wife of Xi Jinping, and obviously Putin is touching her, so don't touch her. And this one is, somebody found Instagram post of Newton, right? This is Newton here, with a British woman, and everyone's commenting, don't touch her. And then someone was saying how all the nationalism that was displayed by that group there, yet, so what's written here in Chinese, it says the foreign gun, so it's referring to this woman, one of the main female here, the one that first went and talked to Dr. K, has a British boyfriend, but they're saying my heart is still Chinese. Sister of Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and everyone's like, don't touch her here. You know the whole logic, right, behind how this whole thing started with Dr. K. First, the pianist was like, you know, it's my right to record in public. And then the Chinese person says, you have to delete my part of this. And then the pianist, which is Dr. K again, says, but this is England and not China. And then the Chinese person says, well, you're violating my image right. And then the pianist says, well, it's a public place. It's illegal for it to do so in England. And then the Chinese person says, but I'm also British. And then the pianist is shocked, says, then why are you holding a Chinese flag? And then Newton Lung comes in and says, do not touch her.
Stop touching her! Don't touch her, please. Do not touch her. Please, you are not the same age. Please do not touch her.
And then somebody actually found this, which is hilarious. The woman, this is Adelina Ning Zhang. Her entire outfit was bought from Taobao, which is a Chinese shopping website, and Tmall, which is also affiliated with that. And as you can see here, this coat is the exact same one. It cost 861 yuan, which I believe is somewhere around like $100, maybe even less. Okay, and then another one here, that's her bag. It's a Chanel knockoff, I believe. This is 199 yuan, which is, I think, about $20. And the next one is her little headpiece, which is 58 yuan, which I believe is about $5 or $6. Okay, now, obviously, you know, personal attacks aside, but everyone in the Chinese Twitter space and other platforms, they're all just calling her Botox lady because clearly she's had some work done. And then they call the other guy Newton. So this guy here, let me find it. This guy, they call him Roaring Brother because he's shouting a lot, right? And then somebody made one about Trump.
Please, do not touch her. Please, you are not the same age. Please do not touch her. Don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't. Yeah, don't touch her.
And obviously there's this one too, right? Don't touch her. What are you doing, you hypocrites? Why are you touching her? Now, it also prompted some of the, I think, best AI-generated images ever. This is supposed to be the pianist, Dr. K, or Brendan Kavanaugh. And then it's even prompted to, this is in Chinese video sharing platforms.
Stop touching her! You are not the same age.
And then today, Dr. K was actually at the St. Pancras piano again. This time, obviously, thanks for taking my advice, he's brought some special items. So this is Winnie the Pooh portrait and Winnie the Pooh bear toy. Now the reason why Winnie the Pooh is so offensive, for those of you who haven't heard, is because somehow Winnie the Pooh resembles Xi Jinping's face. And so back in, I think this was even 2011 or 2012, it was around the time that he was becoming the general secretary of the CCP. This resemblance, I honestly can't really see it, but he was so just fragile over this that his fragile ego couldn't take it. He actually banned Winnie the Pooh in China because of that. And since then, it's become like the most used and the most prominent example of a symbol of resistance. Just whenever people mention Xi Jinping, they always call him Sheenie the Pooh, or Winnie the Shi, or the Pooh Bear, or these sort of things. And it's one of the best meme ever, because like to anybody else, right? If you say Trump or Biden looks like certain little toy like Mickey Mouse or something, like it's funny, but is that enough to warrant a ban on a cartoon character? So it's the fragility. So today Dr. K was at St. Pancras and he was surrounded by a bunch of reporters from different news organizations, and he basically said that he learned a lot today because of the past few days, and he says that this is now a symbol of resistance, and it's absolutely hilarious that, like, I'm sure Dr. K before all this happened didn't really have anything, because I've seen videos of him. He's interacted with Chinese people before. He's interacted with a lot of them, actually. I've seen multiple videos. He has videos on Chinese platforms like Bilibili and Douyin. So it's not like he suddenly just somehow started hating people from China. Obviously, no. But clearly, he also understands that the world we're in today. But after this encounter, it has completely changed his perception of not the Chinese people, but the nationalistic, these little pinks, the singular representatives of the CCP. And now he's basically been pushed to the other side against communism, against the communist China, right? Which is absolutely great, because now he's become so famous because this is a piano player. This is a pianist, not some dissident or independence person or an activist. This is a guy who just wants to have fun with the piano, and now he's not even allowed to do that in Britain because of what happened. The piano was cordoned off, and then thank God it's back. But it just shows you the level of political pressure that the CCP has exerted onto every different country around the world, and how much that actually impacts people. Back in the days, we think that China is a distant country, right? As long as we get friendly with them, we can enjoy the mutual benefit. But today, clearly that's not the case, and you can't escape China. Oh yeah, and then here's more AI-generated videos, which is hilarious. Some of them, they're all holding Chinese flags. Says, "I don't want to appear in your camera." This one says, "Do you have a..." Oh, it says you didn't open a filter. This one says, "Stop recording." Says, "I don't want to be recorded." This one says, "You violated Chinese law." There's another one here, is a bunch of cockroaches, and clearly, this is pretty telling of what they are. They're basically little bugs. This is actually, so I haven't talked about this, but people say she's a special agent from the CCP named Christine Feng, who the MI5 in England has identified her as a top agent of the CCP. I'm not so sure, because I simply can't tell from the photos that I see for Christine Feng and this person here. I can't really get a close-up to compare them. So I'm refraining from saying it. I know other channels have done this already, but I just thought that for the sake of keeping what we already know so much versus that. Clearly, I've talked about this repeatedly now, that there's an infiltration aspect from the CCP into Britain, into other countries. So who knows where she can be? She could be Christine Feng, she could be Jennifer Lung, or she could be Brittany I don't know, Brittany Lee or something. It doesn't matter what the name is, right? The concept is the same. There's clear, very much an in-depth corruption from the CCP into political circles in the UK, as well as societal aspects in the UK as well. So it's a general warning that everyone should know, rather than, I mean, like, clearly they're not some random person as we now know, right? They have heavy ties to the CCP. All right, for the second part of this video, there's actually a song by a Malaysian rapper named Winnie. Now, if you don't know who Winnie is, last year he made a song called Fragile Hearts or Glass Hearts, and it was an entire song based on memes about the state of China and about the fragility of little pinks. And that song went so viral because it used a lot of the I guess you call them punchlines, or even just simply memes that happened in China over the year. I think it's just even, in fact, over the last few years. And he's now come out because of the Year of the Dragon, which with the upcoming Chinese New Year, he titled this new song called The People of the Dragon, or in Chinese, the Descendants of the Dragon, which is often referred to people in China. But also, second of all, it has a lot of new memes that has happened since the year started. So let's get started, okay? Now, first, let's see if you can recognize this. So that is Winnie the Pooh again. Clearly, it's a very common meme that people use, but it's also a double reference. Now, if you listen carefully to the person speaking. So sorry to just pause here. That's actually the I believe AI generated Xi Jinping voice that they used for this part. So clearly Xi Jinping is his third term, and he's being viewed as this modern day emperor, the last emperor of Qing dynasty, so to speak, because we know that potentially of the downfall, and everyone wishes that he would be out of power, and so it's a reference to that because he's ruling for life. He's viewed as an emperor because he's basically concentrated all the power, and also at the same time, he's also Winnie the Pooh. So that's a Titanic reference just there. Wait, going back to it, I don't know if you saw that. So this says here, it says, "You love your motherland, but you now live in London." I'm not so sure if Winnie included this after the incident of what just took place in London, but that's pretty funny. But they also mentioned things like Myanmar, Thailand, other places, so and also New York. And here it says, the role of today's Chinese people is to hate on Japan and dissing the US, that's our duty. And the next line says, YouTube comments criticizing and spreading fake news. So you often see this nationalistic comments on my YouTube channel videos, but also other channels' videos. Basically, they're from Chinese trolls, and they come in and just comment like CCP propaganda. Now, this sword here, I don't know if you noticed it, but in the previous frame, okay, so here this sword actually reads Huawei sword, Huawei being like the company, like Huawei Telecom. And so it's a reference to another Chinese meme, which is that Huawei has a lot of fake stuff, but their sword they're supposed to be like the #1 weapon for the CCP, because for a long time, Huawei had been dominating the telecommunications market. That was the CCP's way of using cheap contracts to outbid all other components, drive out domestic competition, to dominate the telecommunications market in that particular country. And then here it's talking about how Chinese people go around and they pee in like random places. They just, like sometimes I'm just so embarrassed because a lot of these tourists from mainland China, they come, and then their kids would start peeing and pooping everywhere. It's so gross. Oh, wait, that part. Do you see that? Wait, let me go back. Okay, so here it says white paper, what is that? White paper, some type of a sword book, which is talking about the white paper protest. So that's another reference to a social event that took place in 2022, which stopped the draconian COVID lockdown. And with the white paper protest, a lot of people came out to protest the CCP's 3 years of the draconian lockdown because of the pandemic, and obviously which led to the subsequent economic crash. Okay, so all of these banners here, they all have a meme on them, okay? So the one in the middle here, it says, everybody is everybody becomes out of poverty. This one says the greatest of all times. This one says faux on support. So in the Chinese rubber stamp legislator called the People's National Congress, every time they have a vote, everybody would raise their hand. I'll show you what I mean.
同意的代表请举手。不同意的请举手。
没有，
没有，没有，
没有，
没有，
没有。
没有，通过。
And then here, this one on the corner here says 8964, again referring to 1989, June 4th, which is the date of the Tiananmen Square massacre. And then this one here is another homonym. It means to militarily invade and control and rule all of the world. And then this one is, oh, look, that's Xi Jinping's face. And now they're doing a Subject 3 dance.
Summer 2024贺岁歌曲《龙的传人》正式杀青，反对的请举手。
没有，没有。
That's funny. So they actually did the part with what I just showed you in the video, which is everybody approves. No objection. That's definitely a real democracy, right? All right, so I thought that was pretty fun for a different episode, just reacting to and introducing us the best meme ever, which is Winnie the Pooh and all that it has to offer. Anyways, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, we'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.